My dear friends, we have come to the fifth Sunday in Ordinary Time. And today we find that Jesus calls Peter and James and John. So, if you look into this incident, we find Jesus comes to this place and he finds that there's a large crowd of people. They want to hear, they want to listen to Jesus. So Jesus saw these two boats and he got into the boats and he started preaching, being on the boat. But remember, the gospel does not say the reaction or what these Peter or Simon and James and John, what they were doing while Jesus was preaching. So we could assume that though they were not purposely listening to what Jesus was preaching, they must have heard what he was preaching. They must have heard. Why I say that? Because after this incident, when Jesus said to Simon, "Put out into the deep and lay down your nets for a catch," because they were trying to catch fish the whole night and they caught nothing. This Simon, Andrew, and these people, they were fishermen for the whole life. Jesus was just a young man of just 30 years old. So Simon Peter must have felt that, why should I listen to this carpenter, just young boy? I know the sea. I know what's happening and what would be the reaction or what would be the result. But since Simon Peter heard what Jesus was preaching, being on the boat, he said, let's go to the gospel and see. And he said, "Master, we toiled all night and took nothing, but at your word I will lay down the nets." So I have done my best and I caught nothing, but at your word I'm going to put down the nets. So my dear friends, the first lesson that we can learn from Simon Peter is we have to listen to Jesus. We have to listen to God. We have to listen to the voice of God. How? In our day-to-day life, there may be so many occasions where we just listen to so many things, the television, the radio, or we may read the newspaper or some novels or activities, or we may be spending some time in our social media. But can we start the day by listening to God, listening to the voice of God on our way to work? On our way to work, can we just play some hymns and just listen to these hymns or just sing these hymns on our way? Can we play the rosary or can we recite the rosary with our friends, with our family members while we are traveling. There are ways to listen to the voice of God. So when we hear the voice of God, then we will realize in which state we are, just like Simon Peter. Because we find Simon Peter says, but when Simon Peter saw it, he fell down at Jesus' knees, saying, "Depart from me, for I am a sinful man, O Lord." So when we hear the voice of God, when we are in the presence of God, then we realize that we are sinful, that we are not worthy to receive all the graces and blessings which we are receiving from God. For that, we have to listen to the voice of God, my dear friends. So when we listen to the voice of God, what happens? Simon Peter, when he listened to Jesus, and when they had brought their boats to land, they left everything and followed him. So, we are invited to follow Jesus, to leave everything behind and to follow Jesus. So that does not mean that you all are invited to become priests and nuns. No. But you can follow Jesus, being a father to your family, being a faithful husband to your wife, being a good mother, being a loving mother to your children, being a good child to your parents. You can follow Jesus. You can serve Jesus. You can serve the church. So that's what Jesus says. For that, Jesus is calling you to follow him. So that's our invitation. That's our vocation. So my dear friends, today, when Jesus calls these disciples, we are also invited to live in an atmosphere listening to the voice of God. Then to feel that we are not worthy, we are sinful. Then to follow Jesus. Leave everything behind and to follow Jesus. Are you ready? Are you ready to follow Jesus? Leaving everything behind. To serve God, to serve Jesus, and to serve the church. That's your vocation, my dear friend. Amen. God bless you.